Welcome to Crimes That Shocked Japan. In this episode, we're going to be looking at one of the most horrific unsolved murders and one of the most notorious mysteries in Japanese history, the Setagaya Murders. We will look at the events, what happened, the clues left behind, and the suspects in the case. The date is December 30th, the year 2000, just before New Year. Families across Japan, such as the one in this house, are preparing to spend New Year with their loved ones. Setagaya City, where these crimes take place, is one of the 23 special wards that make up the city of Tokyo. The largest ward in population, with 1 million residents. This is Soshigaya Park, along the Sen River. On Google Maps you can see a lone house. This area used to contain over 200 houses, but as Tokyo City had decided to expand the park and gradually homeowners sold their properties to the city. Fewer and fewer remained, and by December 2020 there were just 4 houses left, one of those belonging to the Miyazawa family. The Miyazawa family were a family of 4. They were made up of Mikio Miyazawa, who worked for Interbrand, a London-based marketing consultancy, 44 years old. His wife, Yasuko, 41, was a teacher and ran a cram school from their home. They also had 2 children, a daughter, Nina, 8, and a son, Ray, 6 years old. They were very much a typical Japanese family. Having lived there for 10 years, they had agreed to sell their house for the park expansion and were preparing to move. Little did they know someone was on the way to brutally end everything. This is the back of the Miyazawa family home. On the 2nd floor is the bathroom window. Police believe the killer climbed up the tree and used the branch to enter this window into the property. This is a scale model of the home that was created by the police to recreate the crime scene. And here is the actual window where the killer entered. Entering through the window, the killer turns left and moves out onto the hallway, before turning to the right into Ray's room. 6-year-old Ray is strangled. Mikio, perhaps hearing some noise, makes his way up the stairs as the killer exits Ray's room. Mikio is stabbed to death, his body falling to the bottom of the stairs. In the loft, Yasuko and Nina are sleeping. The killer pulls down the stairs, goes up to the loft and launches his attack. Both suffer severe injuries. The weapon used, a sashimi knife, broken already from the attack on Mikio. Due to the knife being broken, the killer breaks off his attack and leaves. A first aid box is used to stem Nina's injuries. Perhaps then Yasuko tries to make her escape with Nina, heading down the stairs. However, as they go down the stairs and reach the 2nd floor landing, the killer has reappeared, this time with a knife from their kitchen, and attacks them both. Both Yasuko and Nina are found dead at the bottom of the ladder, stabbed to death and beaten. Killed without mercy as they tried to make their escape. And so, over the course of 90 seconds, the Miyazawa family, everything they'd lived for, everything they'd strived for, their goals, their dreams, the wedding, the children, the births, the family, was destroyed. Their killer remained in the house over the next few hours, roaming from room to room. They ransacked drawers, went through all paperwork. Looking for something? Perhaps. They helped themselves to ice cream from the fridge, not using a spoon, eating it from the container, dumping documents in the bathtub. Many footprints were found in Ray's room. The killer then went to the kitchen. Ignoring the beer in the fridge, he helped himself to a barley tea. He logged onto the computer and tried to book theatre tickets using Mikio's account. Somewhere between 1 a.m. and 10 a.m, the killer leaves the house. The next morning, Yasuko's mother, who lived just in the house next door, goes to visit her daughter. Knocking on the door to no answer, she lets herself in and goes onto the floor, where she finds Mikio's body at the bottom of the stairs, lying in a pool of blood, stabbed multiple times in the thighs, buttocks and head. She then goes up the stairs to find her daughter and granddaughter slumped together on the bottom of the stairs leading to the attic, back to back, both stabbed to death. She leaves to contact police. Little did she know that Ray, later found on his bed, strangled. Police quickly swarm the scene. A murder of this brutality in Japan is incredibly rare. They identify the entry points, quickly find a host of DNA evidence left by the killer, as well as all their clothes they left behind. Items including a hat, a jacket, a top, a scarf, a bag, even their shoes were left behind at the scene. Let's look at each one. This Crusher hat, one of 4,000 on sale at the time. This scarf with no tag has never been traced. This shirt, only 130 sold nationwide. This AirTech jacket, 82,000 sold. A handkerchief used by the killer to guard the knife. And the shoes, manufactured only in Korea. A hip bag was also discovered containing a few items, and most peculiarly, sand originating from the United States. And so this was the picture of the killer police put together. But who was he? Was he a skateboarder from the skate park where Mr. Miyazawa fell out with the skaters who were making noise and was seen arguing with them shortly before the killings? Could this have been a skater he argued with, who came for revenge? The park was also known to attract biker gangs who drunk there. Could Mikio have fallen out with one of this group? And the sand in the hip bag was found after analysis to come from the Edwards Air Force Base just outside Los Angeles. There is another air base, the Yokota Air Base, not too far from the Setagaya home where the murders took place. Could this have been an Air Force personnel employee travelling from base to base who came down to the house to commit this crime? The Korean connection with the sneakers found at the home and the connection between the US military could potentially be a clue. On the 100th day after the murder, a statue was found, placed over the river directly opposite the house by police. This mysterious statue was never identified, and police are looking for information on where it came from. Given the brutality of the crimes, was it something personal? Was Mikio involved in some way with the Tokyo nightlife, the gay scene? Someone perhaps he met, fell out with, who then came to pay him back? Since the crimes were committed more than 250,000 Tokyo police officers have worked on the case round the clock, but given all the clues, no arrests have yet been made. Every year on the day of the murder, Tokyo police gather outside the Miyazawa house to pay their respects and pledge themselves to finding the killer. And more than 20 years on, in the middle of the park, the house still stands, a monument to this horrific crime. Sealed off and frozen in time, do passers-by know what took place here? The search for the faceless killer continues. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more content. If you would like me to visit the scene, please add a message in the comments.